Hello there, everyone. This is Omni. I apologize for the musical process video being a little bit late. Hopefully, it will still be on Monday, which is today. So, uh, uh, let me go ahead and tell you we are going to do the musical process this week, as I promised, on Maya's new song. For those that didn't hear it, I'm going to play a little bit of it so that you can kind of hear how the song is. So, here we go. La da 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 dee dee. Ooh. La da 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 dee dee. Calliope, hummingbird fairy. I'm so happy you know me. Calliope, hummingbird fairy. 3 inches tall, but she answers the call, no matter how small, wind, rain, or snowfall. Calliope, hummingbird fairy. Anyway, so that's the song. That's the song. I'm not going to go through the whole 3 minutes before we go into the process or talking about the song's process, but this was for Ichika Maya. That's twitch.tv/MAIA or twitter.com/ICHIKAMAIA. This is part of a project I wanted to do. So I've done over the last 2 years, almost 3 years. For those that don't know, that's how long I've been kind of making music. So I haven't been making music very long. So that's why I definitely never say I'm a professional. I'm never going to say that my music is quality, because it's just there's a lot of people that are professionals and they know how to master things. They know how to do multiple instruments, and etc etc etc. They have had music theory. They've been doing it all their lives, things like that. I haven't been doing that, so I don't know if I really should be doing these musical process videos, but they seem entertaining and they seem to be helping someone out there. As long as one person is helped, then I will keep doing these videos. Anyway, the project I have that I've been doing, and we talked about this last week with Chie's song, Smart and Pretty, or Smarter and Prettier. We did that with Chie's song, and the project basically is taking some of my older songs of the 86. Yeah, I made 86 songs. But apparently I found out and Dove Cameron was on the Tonight Show. Apparently, when you make an album anyway, when you're going to make a debut album, you're supposed to like make 100 songs anyway, and then narrow it down to your best 40, and then narrow it down from there. So I'm like, well, I'm not actually at 100 yet, so let's work getting to 100, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, I really wanted to do Chie's song came pretty simple and pretty easy, and it meant came from the heart and everything, but it was kind of naturally just happened. This I purposely was like, I'm going to do this project. I want to do one of Maya's first songs. For those again that don't know Maya is a VTuber. She's taking a bit of a break this week, which she much deserves. But hopefully next week you'll be able to catch her streams. You can always see her Twitter as well, and then the Discord and stuff like that. So actually, I wonder if I can. Give me one second. Do do do. I think I can. So what is going to happen is I'm going to actually shout out Maya off stream. I'm not streaming right now, but I'm going to give her a shout out. Cool, that did work. And then of course, so Twitter is there, and then the Twitch was what was previous. So, but she kind of was the reason I got into music making. And one of her very first songs, when I looked at it on YouTube, I was like, all right, what was the literal first song that I did for Maya? And I was like, it was a long time ago. it was it was it was January 26th, 2021. So it was almost over 2 years ago. That was the very first song that I did. And so I was like, we're gonna pick that one. We're gonna pick that one. And it wasn't very good. It wasn't. I mean, Maya was very, very kind, and she loved it. She says, she loved it and everything. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to let you listen to Maya's the original song. I'm going to skip through the intro because there's so
as big as the moon or like two.
Okay. So this was the original.
Fairy, hummingbird fairy, she tends to her garden, not so scary. So good, the hummingbird fairy.
And you can tell that was no instruments, no anything. There's not really, it's more poetic, but there's definitely no musical instrument at all. So instead, we were like, well, how do I do this? Because there's no instruments at all. Like with Chie's song, there was instrumentals. With Maya's song, there's no instrumentals. So I had to come up with stuff, right? So I'm like, well, how are we going to do this? Well, first off, this actually was one of the few times where lyrics came. And that was basically, I was like, I wanna do something that harkens back to the song that I originally wrote. But I want to note that it's something had to be changed because there was no rhythmic lanes. Everything was kind of chaotic. There wasn't too much stuff that was melodic. So I knew I had to figure out how to do that. And I know that I didn't want it to just be another rap. So that's why we came up with the words to the song first. Because I know it couldn't get any worse. And so that's where I came up with Calliope, hummingbird fairy. And then things just rolled down from there. That's where the lyrics came from. So then the lyrics came from there, right? That's how we started out. And as I was saying, I wrote a couple of the lyrics. I didn't write all of the lyrics. I will say that it wasn't all the lyrics at first. It wasn't all the lyrics at first. It was just, it was mainly the chorus and what was going to be repeated in that chorus, which was Calliope, hummingbird fairy, Calliope, hummingbird fairy, and then things of that nature. And then I was like, okay, I messed with a lot of things. I messed with this. And I was like, okay, that I want that in there. But then I was like, but that's a little too much. That's a little too much. I'll tell you what the instruments are once I get to actually when I added them in. But this sound I wanted, but I was like, okay, but it's too much. So we were like, okay, let's go to the back of the drawing board. And then I had this one. And then I was like, well, we can't do that because like, I don't know. There was a lot of instruments that I did play with. So this song actually is one of those times there was a lot of instruments that were played around with. There was this one, and then let me go back. Let me just add a blank instrumental to show you. There was piano at some point. And then I was like, I don't really like that. And then we went back to something more like a flute, and I was like, well, maybe what if we do a saxophone, make it a little bit jazzy. I was like, that's a little too much, a little bit too much strength. So then we went, okay, well, what about doing something a little bit less, and that would be like a muted trumpet instead. And then I was like, that doesn't sound right at all. And then I was like, well, let's go and do something wild. And then I was like, shamisen, and I was like, no. And as you were noticing, it's like I've done recently. I'm trying to move. I've been trying to move away with using the ukulele as the bass, which is really funny because that's kind of what I'm characteristic of. And basically, what ended up happening was I was like, well, forget it. Just let your heart speak to you. And what spoke to me was the ukulele, specifically. Using my original ukulele. Umi. So we used Umi because we were like, okay, I want something where it's simple, because it was a simple song in the beginning. So we started out with this. Da 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 da. Strum strum beat beat. Strum strum beat beat. And then everything goes on repeat. Ba 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 dee. Da 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 dee dee dee. But I was like, okay, we're gonna have to add something to this thing. Dee 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 dee. And that's when we were like, okay, well, maybe we add some percussion. And then I went to a nice standby, which is the glockenspiel. And I was like, that doesn't work. So we had to do something else. And I actually even entertained trying to do a beat, which was, Alright, so maybe not in this section. This is the solo part. But I thought about it. I thought about it doing that beat. I was like, da 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 da, 1, 2, 3. Now thinking about it, I might have to save that for like a remixed version of this. Calliope humming. Actually, we're going to do this right now. Actually, just for a second. This is the first. I'm sorry. I know this is a musical process, but I'm just very curious to see what this sounds like. All right. But as you can see, the songs can always change with just a new sound. So this is where I'm also going to tell you a secret of mine. I save these under a main project, and every once in a while, I will redo a song. Not like the project I'm doing currently, but I will redo a song, and I will basically pull out that old song, and then I'll save another version in that same folder, so then I can go back to it, and because it's always fun. But then the thing is that like if I save this now, it'll override the old song, so it's like weird. But let's see what that sounds like with that beat. I actually didn't sing at this portion. I just thought the beat was like, I was like, the beat's not gonna work. I'm still not good with beats. So, but let's see what it actually sounds like with that beat. And I apologize right now. This kind of is a stream of consciousness kind of style of vlogging. I apologize, but it's this is also just kind of an example of musical inspiration can hit you anytime, just like any kind of any other art inspiration. So don't ever restrict yourself. Don't restrict yourself. Do not tell yourself that it's terrible, or that it is not worthy of being made. For that reason, I thank you, Maia, for so much, because she gave me, I guess somehow, she's given me confidence, inspiration, motivation, so many different things that I couldn't have ever perceived, because I didn't believe, but she believed in me, and now look at what I can be. Da 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 dee dee dee. Calliope, hummingbird, fairy. I'm so happy you know me. Anyway, so yeah, never restrict yourself, because I didn't think I would do this. 86 songs later, I still can't believe I've made 86 songs. Can't believe that I've actually done this. And there are a lot of Maia songs out there, so this is kind of me explaining the reason why. It's because she's done wondrous things for my mental health, I guess, too, and everything else. And there's just, I owe her exponentially, infinitesimally, so much that I don't think I'd ever be able to repay her. One day I hope that maybe we can duet something. I don't know. Maybe that's a dream goal, by the way. I don't know why I'm saying that right now, but things they're just kind of coming out of my mouth, and before my brain can really filter them. So I'm going to stop talking about that stuff. But yeah, so this is an example of how a song can definitely change, just from a different sound. Calliope, hummingbird, fairy, I'm so happy you know me. 3 inches tall, but she answers the call no matter how small. Wind, rain, or snowfall, you inspire me. You show me how to be. So, very, very simple. I'm going to save that as a different thing, though. I haven't been really good with beats, but I definitely really like this beat. And again, sorry that this video is a lot longer than expected, because I was supposed to just explain the song and then, oh my god, I'm getting emotional. So it's usually just explain the song, how it came to be, and other things of that nature. But this is a little bit more than that, so we are going to try to condense stuff. But obviously, as I said before, this beat didn't come out. That came about, and I was like, okay, it could be used somewhere else, but I don't want to do that. So let's get rid of that. So instead, we went with this instead. And as you can actually see on the program, it says Celeste. Celeste is actually not that. Here, let me actually, I don't know why I deleted that, but Celeste, that's not Celeste. That's a vibraphone-ish sound. What Celeste is it's a kind of keyboard. And this is what it is. Very, very different than what you actually get out of that, which is actually... Oh, I have the key solos. And that's where the sound came from. And I actually did go with, I went with a couple of things. I went with Celeste, I went with harp, I went with violin, and surprisingly, I went with a couple of things. But this came about of me just doing, I'm like, well, what can I think of? And I basically, this is what happened when I was messing around with the vibraphone instrument. Hold on, give me 1 second. We're going to pull that up right now. Vibraphony. And basically, this is what ended up happening. I was like, da-da. And I kept messing around with it, but this is what that ended up happening, was that I just kind of fell back to this. And I was just like, that works out fine. But then problem was, I was like, this needs more depth. And because with this is nice. It's nice to keep it simple sometimes, but there's always a good reason to put depth in there. So I was like, I want something that sounds like I can add a chord progression to. That's a repeating chord progression. It's not the ukulele. It's separate from that one. That sounds very different. And so I came up with this. Of course, we started with the piano first. And it was... Wait, hold on. Sorry, that wasn't that. It was and I liked that da da ba ba, but I was like, I can't do that with the piano. So what can we do? So I tried again. Also, again, as I said, I went back to I went to a couple of instruments, and then I was like, well, let's try to doing it in orchestra strings, a large string section. So. And I was like, that's nice if it was like a BGM, but not for a song. I was like, as much as I love the sound. And like it's too much. It's too much. So we ended up messing around with some other stuff, and I was like, well, what if we did like one of these preset combination things? And I was like, this could be fun. So I use it, And I was like, well, maybe we can do this. And then I was like, that's way too much. And I ended up falling onto this, which is a guitar, a vibraphone, and some strings. And I was like, oh, maybe that's kind of what I want. So then we went. And then I realized I don't want strings. Strings are too much. As much as I love strings, strings are too much. So what I did is I took out the string. And then I added instead a harp. And I was like, well, that sounds really nice. Harps are nice. Harps are really nice. So let's add that in. And it was this. I was like, that's aha. That was the aha moment. I was like, that isn't the sound I want. It's not crazy like an orchestral string section, but it is just enough resonance just enough resonance that I'd be like, this is perfect. So I took all of that, I took the strings out, put that in there, and then added a little bit of a more bass, and then we had this beautiful thing. And that was just beautiful. And then when we put it all together, we have this. I'm going to skip a little bit of the first intro, but we're going to go through right as the chord hits. So here we go. Ready? And da 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 la da 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 dee. Calliope, hummingbird fairy. I'm so happy you know me. Calliope, hummingbird fairy. 3 inches tall, but she answers the call, no matter how small. Wind, rain, or snowfall. Da 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 dee dee, and that's how this song came to be. I hope it helped you, and who knows, maybe you can do this too someday. I hope when you hear this song, you say that it's so lovely. Yeah, so that is the song of the Calliope Hummingbird Fairy, or Maia's new song. So, as I said, I hope this helped out at least one of you, and I'm sorry about the longness. Like I said, sometimes that's how musical inspiration works. You just have to kind of, it sparks, you have to follow the spark, let the spark go. And that doesn't necessarily have to be literally writing the music right then and there. It just means recording a little bit of something, and there's a note to remind yourself. Because remember, you are worthy, you are loved, you belong, and you can do wondrous things. And together, we'll help the sky shine bright. Going